Hello, everybody. Today, I'm just going to talk a little bit about retirement. Yes, retirement, that word that everybody is talking about these days. These jobs, they wearing you down. I know they are. Because mine, it was wearing me down. I happened to retire May the 1st. Woo, thank God. I'm telling you. But, I had a great time working. I worked over 30 years of my life. I retired over 25 years from the job that I just retired from. But the main topic that I want to talk about is, when do you know, or when will you know it's the right time to retire? Because I'm telling you, as soon as you start talking about it, you're going to have a lot of people who's going to try to discourage you. So my first bit of advice for that is, let only your closest allies know that you're planning to do that. Don't discuss retiring with your coworkers, with your boss, your supervisors, or any of that. Because your coworkers, they're going to truly discourage you. Most of them, not all of them. Some of them are good. But the ones that are hating from the inside, they're going to tell you things like, are you sure you saved up enough money? Did you work long enough to get your high threes or your high fours up? Those in the government understand the high threes, like the federal government. Some jobs do the high fours, and then some people just get bare minimum pensions, I guess. They couldn't take it or whatever have you, and they left, getting the bare minimum or retiring early, as they say. But again, you telling people that you're retiring, all they're going to do is put a monkey wrench in your thinking. They're going to tell you all of those things, and they're going to make you second, third, fourth, fifth guess yourself. So, number one, do not tell your coworkers. They're not going to give you great advice, because most of them don't even have a clue what it would take for them to retire. When I was about to retire, and I happened to talk to, a few people, and a lot of those people was telling me, I was like, I would go around and say things just to get some information from them, just to see what they would say. And I would be like, such and such, when do you plan to retire? And they'll be like, well, I guess I got to do another 5 or 6 years, 10 years. And they were already like in their high 50s, 60s, early 60s. And I'm thinking to myself, damn. So you plan to retire when your health is on a decline and you only got, by, life expectancy standards, said, don't let nobody discourage you by talking about your business to them. So let me just talk about what brought me to the decision to retire. Well, first, I always thought about retiring, even when I was in my 40s. I didn't want to work until I was in my 60s, and my health started declining, and then it would be hard for me to do the things that I really want to do, like travel or just spend time taking a walk, trying to get my health together, making sure I maintain for later years of my life if I'm blessed for longevity. So as time went on the job, I knew it was becoming that time, because I started taking more days off from work. I was calling them mental health days. You know what I mean? When you start taking a day off after Sunday, you be like getting kind of aggravated. Monday was coming and you like, damn, gotta go back to the job. You know what I mean, right? So that was starting to happen quite frequently. Every Monday would come, I didn't want to go back to work. Fridays, I started taking off. I started putting my sick days with my vacation days. So right then and there, I knew it was time that it was, my brain and my mind and my body was getting tired. So not only that, a lot of the new generation started coming in, and their whole demeanor and how they conducted themselves on the workplace was a lot different than when I came in. A lot of the younger folks seemed like they didn't respect the older people's opinions, and they were just there for the paycheck. So from that point, I'm like, it's my time. So that's number one. Know when is your time to go. Don't overstay. Do not think that you can't retire. How do you go about retiring is the question. I'm not a financial expert. I didn't do everything right, but I knew what my finances were. I knew what my budget was and is. I knew how much money I have, what I have in the bank, so on and so on and so on. So my advice to you is not that you have to have millions of dollars in the bank in order to retire. You should make sure you live within your means. Make sure you put a little away for an emergency fund. You have to have that emergency fund because you never know what might go wrong. From a maintenance problem, car problem, health problem. So make sure you have that emergency fund first and foremost. Number two is very important. I encourage everyone to put those credit cards away. If you need a credit card, use only one. Make sure the interest rate on that credit card is very low. Number two, make sure you pay off all your debt or most of it before you retire. That will help tremendously. If you don't have no credit card retirement, even if you could pay off your car, pay that off, because you should know what your debt is as far as your rent, your mortgage, your electric, water, trash, cable, and phone. Those should be your main bills right there. So if you paid off all your credit cards, Affirms, whatever you got, all you have to pay out of your pension, Social Security is your basic debt that you're going to have until the day you die. Rent, mortgage, electric, food, and the rest of those things that I mentioned earlier. So living within your means is always one of the best things to do. And whatever money you have left over, you can put to the side, save up, take a trip at the, beginning of the summer, end of the year, whatever you do, however you plan your vacations, but you should live within your means, because I'm telling you, living, somewhat free, without that, worrying about your debt and all of those finance interest charges that keep rolling over time after time. All that's going to do is bring you down in a hole. So get rid of those things and you should be able to retire. But if your money is not right, if you're not able to pay your basic necessities like the rent and those type of things, you might have to work a little bit longer. Unfortunately, because there's no magic bullet or magic to making it easier for you. I only put gas in my car like every 2 weeks now. I don't buy lunches, every week. I don't have to go to the grocery store just to make sure I have lunch or stop at a fast food restaurant or something that will make me spend $20 a day just for meal, going to 7-Eleven, buying coffee every day. All of those things add up. You'll be surprised. You know, not to mention you'll realize that your health will start getting better. That's the best thing about retirement. You'll start getting your sleep. I used to get up at 2:30 in the morning, going out when it was dark every day, basically coming home when it was close to being dark. My health started to deteriorate. And when I noticed that, I knew I couldn't do it much longer, even though I was trying to trick my mind and thinking, well, I could do it another 5 years. Yeah, I was just fooling myself because my mind was saying that, but my body was telling me something different. But I'm not going to hold you too long with retirement. This was just a little bit, but I will get back and share some other things about retirement with you. I have one last thing that I want to talk about before I go, and that's the social relationships that you had developed while you was at work. You know, a lot of people go to work and make a lot of friends. You know, that was never my motto when I was going to work. My motto was always to go make a living. If I came across a few good people that was decent friends or we became friends, then so be it. But for those who believe that everybody on the job is your friend, as soon as you retire, just remember, a few of them will call to check on you to say, hey, how you doing? What you up to? You good? They'll do that for about a good 2 to 3 weeks. But after that, they're going to drop off because you no longer work there. You're not a part of that clique anymore, that crew.
Like you? Who the hell said I got to like you? What law is there say I got to like you? Want to stand up in front of my face and ask a damn fool-ass question like that? Talking about liking somebody.
You're an outsider now. So it's up to you to develop new friends, a community, a social group. And you could do that by getting involved in charity work, your church, your family. Pull to those things because those things will be important to you. So I advise you to just take your time when you retire. Find out what you really like to do, who you really are. Because you're going to realize that the best thing that you've ever done in your life after working so many years is to retire. You owe it to yourself. Don't let nobody discourage you or tell you you can't. You just have to come up with a plan and goals. Live within your means, create a budget, and you could best believe that you're going to win at retirement. That's all I wanted to talk about for today. I'll get back with you again to check in to see how you're doing. Peace.